Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch My Hero Academia Season 5, Episode 15, and also the Episode 16 today for me. I'm gonna watch 2 episodes today. I hope that you are feeling great. Me, I'm feeling really great, like that's it, all of my issues were resolved. I had the time to rest, I had the time to just be like, okay, let's move on. And yes, I hope that you guys, you're feeling great now when you're watching this video on Patreon or on YouTube. Remember that on Patreon we have 4 episodes of advance, meaning 2 weeks of advance. So for you guys on Patreon, it's maybe middle of April, when for you in YouTube, on YouTube, it's beginning of May, something like that. So I don't know, I hope that the beginning of your spring is doing well, like I hope that everything is alright. Me, I spent a good weekend, with my family. We had a little family lunch, with everyone, with my little nephew. It's so great, and also I'm into a good mood, That's it, outside. It's the sun, but still it's not that hot. I can still drink my tea and all. I spent a good weekend. I'm gonna watch 2 episodes of My Hero Academia and also into this episode of My Hero Academia. I'm expecting them, to be full of informations and maybe to encourage me to play a game, like to try to connect dots, to connect informations, like with really the first episode of the new narrative arc, the last one that we watched together. I'm gonna put the link, into the eye for the last episode, for the playlist that I made for My Hero Academia in case you didn't watch these videos. During the last episode, we had Andover, who managed to connect the dots, about Ox, who gave him that book in which he managed to put, a code. And if Andover would understand the code, he would understand that there is a Meta Liberation Army and there are villains that are preparing something, it's gonna happen soon. And all of that, the fact that Ox is a double agent, it's already really interesting, even if I'm afraid of it, because the guy can be discovered by the bad side, by the good side, and can be threatened, hurt, killed by both sides because of that. And also the guy can switch, maybe at some point, like we can never be sure of him because of that. For now, I don't have any suspicion of him switching, but I'm afraid for him, to be discovered. No matter what, he's talking with people, in high places, but apparently Andover doesn't know that he's a double agent, but he wants for Andover to know about the information that he has about the Meta Liberation Army, the Liberation Meta Army, I can't remember in which order, and maybe I'm wrong with the word. That new group, that new army, they are basing everything, all of their thoughts on a book. I want to know who wrote that book. How did you have this information? Through David? Through the League of Villains? Meaning that the League of Villains is connected with that army? Or maybe because of the League of Villains still, but they are not connected? No matter what, who are they? Do we have a leader for them? The guy who wrote the book? The guy is the lady who wrote the book? Maybe someone else? They want to do what exactly, Like Ox talked a little about their intentions, having a power, being responsible, the role that heroes are playing and stuff like that. That was interesting, but clearly what do they want? To totally annihilate, the population of heroes, or on the contrary, to have only heroes, people with big powers reigning? Like really, what is their true purpose? For sure, what are they preparing that plan, that big plan? Do we have to expect that people that we know are part of it? Like, you know, for the League of Villains, they are really radicals with their ideas. Even if I suspect for one of them to be one of the teachers, you know, the fact that they have a spy inside, a rat, still, it's really difficult for them to hide what they think and all of that. But this army, maybe in fact they recruited more people because it's not an official, you know, group of villains, and in fact there are random guys around them, you know, like, I don't know, maybe our guys, our students, some of them already read that book and appreciated that kind of idea, so maybe at some point some of them can be like, hey, let's fight with these guys, they are not the villains, they are not the bad guys, they are fighting for these ideas and we believe into these ideas. Or maybe some of their parents, or maybe some people that we met around, like some teachers, or just, yes, some people that we met all along this journey, all along these 5 seasons, you know, that we had together. So see, I already have a lot of questions about what is happening right there, about this army, about this book, about who are they, about their link with the League of Villains, about, for sure, Ox, how he had all of this information, about Andover, who discovered that information, but it was in a coded way, so he can talk about it with whom right now? Not with Ox, not directly. Is he gonna trust other people? Like, I really don't know. So, see, I have really a lot of questions, and I'm expecting, you know, at least the beginning of this narrative arc to be a little like that, to be about playing games, you know, trying to have informations, maybe at some point to have some big reveals, maybe for us through Andover to connect dots, you know. So I'm there for that. You know that I love that. You know that I'm watching shows and animes also for that, to try to understand the story and to imagine what can happen, to try to understand the characters, to see if they are saying the truth or not. So clearly, a game like that in My Hero Academia, I could really appreciate it. Deku needs also to learn how to use his new power, or more the new version of his quirk, that dark one. I'm wondering, you know, saying it like that, I'm wondering if at some point we're gonna have a dark Deku. You know, Deku is a teenager. Clearly, he always admired heroes and All Might more than anyone, but at some point, maybe he's gonna have that phase as a teenager, doubting about himself, turning, you know, not bad, but making mistakes, and maybe being like, the world is against me, like no one likes me, you know. Every teenager is living that phase. For someone like Deku, it could make him dark Deku, like someone using his powers, not for doing bad stuff, but maybe losing control of his powers, maybe something like that more. But you know, that's something that I'm wondering. We are talking about teenagers, even if they are older than I thought that they were around 14, something like that, 13, 14, and during one of the previous episodes they said that they were 16. I didn't think so. So yes. See, I have some expectations for this new narrative arc, but I can feel that I'm gonna love it, so it's cool. It's really cool. Okay, let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, on which you have these episodes earlier, you have 4 episodes of advance, meaning 2 weeks of advance, and you have extended reaction parts which are already longer without cutting during the scene. I'm really letting the scene go without playing with opacity, and for big episodes I prefer to put the full reaction part. So if you can be interested to have these advantages, episodes of advance, full opacity, and longer reaction part, sometimes the full reaction part, you can come on my Patreon. It's the best way to support me. If you want, and if you can, it can be truly appreciated, truly useful, even if it's just for 1 month, you know. It can be cool, it can be great. Let's go for this episode! Oh, we're really gonna spend a lot of time with you. I'm okay for it, but I'm gonna be stressed each time.
現状報告ですが、解放思想の浸透を頑張ってます。君がヒーローに送り回った本だが。
You're the boss? Is the boss of this army?
実は俺まだ全然分かってねえの。
The League of Villains, so clearly they are connected.
指示層である10代、20代を取り込むのはこちらが喜ばしい。おい、ホークス。
Talked about it during the intro.
悪人だ。俺の部下にして。
Show your face! All of you!
米花市事件の連合関与について捜査中ですが、選手たちがうまくやっています。例の悠長な更新育成が始まってますね。
All of you!
まあ、言っても学生ですからね。ご苦労。
I don't understand, you're working for that guy now?
どんなに小さな SOS も取りこぼさないように鍛えてきた。強力な振動波だから音の種類を割り出す。
Ah, to listen?
いよいよやっちゃうんですね。全部壊す。バイト村君です。
By Tomura? Okay, so the League of Villains is the Meta Liberation Army. They are not just connected, but it's a different boss. And where is Tomura?
自由に歩きもしない。肝心なところが曖昧なままつかめない。でも分かってからじゃ遅いんだ。
I'm afraid for him now. Each time.
ホークス、もしや敵の内定を。
Yes, you don't know about it, it's a double-agent situation, but yes.
食堂に行きたいんですけど。入れません。はいはい、わかりましたよ。今すぐここを包囲してしまえば。
You don't know how many villains are right there.
失敗した時に備えて
What?
数を呼び出しておいてそれだけか。
With the students?
学生にもより多く快適な経験をインターン。
Okay, you're connecting the dots about the work studies, but the commission didn't want you to know about
今
arts.
回のインターンはその備え。正直どうかと思ってな。失敗した時の保険に学生を据えようかなんて。
It's so dangerous for them, you know, like...
だけ所望してたわけだし、多分2人は私たちと行動って感じで。
For sure you're gonna hate that, Bakugo.
でも思ってたのと違うよな。俺から言ってみる。
Mm.
このインターンは戦力の保険。納得いかんだ。ひとまずは。
It means also that you're expecting to lose a lot of heroes.
お前たちは俺が見る。見くびってくれて助かるよ。手柄を横取りした甲斐がある。うがいつくその姿が俺の考えを変えた。
He changed your mind?
君は強い。君の仲間たちも強い。
Mm. Okay, we are seeing also class B. Okay, okay. Them also.
ヴィランの思い通りには絶対にならない。次の桜が散る頃にみんなが笑っていられるように。
No.
俺がお前たちを育ててやる。今抱えている課題、できるようになりたいことを言え。
Bakugo is gonna tell you that he's already perfect.
最大なんていうか、副次的な何か違う形で発言するように集中した上で休養出力ギリギリ。本来は無知のようにしなる力なんです。この力をリスクじゃなく武器にしたい。いるのは
Could be great.
エアフォースなどの力の調整をしながら動いているので、そこにもう一つ要素がついてそれにも頭の重要な要素がいけない。
At the end, you're forgetting how it began.
活動中常に綱渡りの調整ができるようになりたいと。
はい。
指を弾くだけであれほどの風圧。パワーだけで言えばオールマイトに匹敵する力だ。難儀な個性を抱えたな。
You can train the next All Might. It's great, no? Please don't be jealous.
次、貴様。逆に何ができねえのか。俺は知りに来た。俺のバカは やりてえと思ったこと何でもできる。ただ強えだけじゃ本当の強えやつにはなれねえって。
You're saying that out loud? That you learned that?
ナンバーワンを超えるために足りねえもん見つけに来た。
You're changing, Bakugo. I already said so, you know, during the fight, Class A, Class B, the fact that he was accepting help and all.
振り返ってみればしょうがない。お前への嫌がらせで頭がいっぱいだった。
Pointless but logical.
俺がハゴを歩ませてやる。俺が憧れたのはお母さんと二人で見たテレビの中のあの人だ。俺はヒーローのひよっことしてヒーローに足る人間になるために俺がお前を利用しに来たんだ。
You're right. I'm sorry to all of the Endoverse fans.
ヒーローとしてのエンデバーってやつはすごかったよ。お前がお母さんにしてきたことまだ許せてね。
At this point, you know, he needs to only think about himself, what he wants for his relationship with his dad to be.
いくらかでも心を開いてくれたかと俺は何と愚かな勘違いを。
No, still, he chose you. He can be around you, he wants to learn from you. It's still something.
基礎中の基礎だ。並列に思考し迅速に動く。それを常態化させ雄英で努力。そしてここでは経験を山のごとく積み上げる。
I like how you're presenting stuff.
この冬の間に1回で俺より早くヴィランを退治してみせろ。
I'm gonna do it.
対応が早い。これから6つの個性が発現する。
I'm gonna do it. And maybe some of them are easier, you know, to learn, to handle. He's all by himself, that guy?
バクは気づいてるか。
What?
気づいて俺が気づかねえ。九州でロームに使ったジェットはおそらくあれを圧縮して推進力にしているんだ。俺のバカのパクリだ。つうかね今気づいたんだ。
He's copying you?
何ができないかを知りたいと言ったなら確かに
Did you already see?
面白い。しかし今まさに俺を追い越すことができないと知ったわけだ。ここは授業の場ではない。間に合うだけで落ちるのは成績じゃない。人の命だ。ショート、バクゴ、貴様ら二人には同じ課題を与える。それが学習の習得につながるんだ。はめて放つ力の凝縮だ。
エビショットと同じ能力だ。なんでヨーヨー知ってててめえ。
Oh, for you to give him an advice.
氷の形状をある程度コントロールできていたな。あのイメージを炎で実践してみる。
Okay, okay. You're giving them good advices and you really paid attention to them.
でも並列に考えるんじゃ。
誰しもが日常的に並列に物事を処理している。無意識化でな。車を運転しているあの男。奴も初めから運転できたわけじゃない。
It became like something you can do without thinking about it.
同じ反復でも学校と現場とでは経験値が全く違ったものになる。学校で培ったものこの最高の環境で体になじませる。
All Might is your mentor. He can be a good trainer.
貴様ら三人ごときの正義、このエンデバーの仕事に何も影響することはない。
さあ、進んでいくんだ。僕の出せる最大速度でさらに向こうへ。
Do not give up. Continue.
前へ。
For the three of you. I loved the two parts of this episode, but they were clearly different and I loved them for different reasons. The first part, we were following Ox, you know, he was really the main thing about the first part of this episode. The fact that we're gonna spend so much time with him during this narrative arc, during this second part of the season, It's so good, it's so great, because clearly the job that he's making right now, being a double agent like that, working, you know, as a fake villain with the villains, like, it's so stressful, it's so dangerous, but at the same time it can bring so many informations, reveals which are gonna be important. So I'm glad that it's not gonna be someone that we're gonna see sometimes like appearing suddenly, giving one information and disappearing, and we're not gonna know really how it's happening for him, what he has to do, what he has to suffer, how he's thinking and all. I'm glad that we're really gonna follow him and all. And right there, the fact that we have all of these informations, and at the same time, not so many, like, this place made for the villains, for the Meta Liberation Army. But all of the persons who were around the table are from the League of Villains. You know, during the intro, I was like, how are they connected? They are not just connected, the League of Villains is the Meta Liberation Army, or is a part of the Meta Liberation Army, the big part, you know, I mean, persons at the highest places. But at the same time, the one who was the boss during that meeting at least, meaning maybe the boss of this army, it's not Shigaraki, not at all. It was someone, like, we didn't see his face, he had really a triangle, I don't know how to say it, chin, a triangle chin like that. We never saw his face. I think that he was the one during the previous episode who said that he has access to all of Hawk's communications, that he's keeping an eye on him. That person, we didn't see his face, and I think that they are the same, and for now we're not seeing his face at all. I don't think that it's because of the fact that it's someone that we already know, not at all. I think that they are just playing with it, they don't want to reveal it too quick. But clearly that person was leading the meeting. I have the impression that this person is leading also this group, this Meta Liberation Army. They talked about the book, about giving the book to people, about convincing people around. So I was right about that, about the fact that members of this army, they are not just gonna be villains, official villains and all. Maybe they are gonna be people who read the books and who believed into these ideas and all, and they're gonna be a part of this group without knowing that in fact they are led, you know, by villains, actual villains from the League of Villains, people who really did bad stuff. Do you understand what I mean? I talked about it during the intro, about the fact that some of our students maybe can read this book, appreciate it, without knowing, you know, what it's truly about. They are seeing that they want to target young people also, so it can be bad for that. The League of Villains, right there, this new boss. No news about Shigaraki except for the fact that they talked about Tomura as a bomb, you know, I mean, as a weapon at least, as someone, something that they can use. Do you understand what I mean? Ox, you managed to let one of your things, you know, to listen to that conversation. 4 months, a bomb. The good side is trying to be prepared. That's why the commission asked for these students, you know, everyone to continue with the work studies. You know, we saw during the previous episodes that adults, teachers, they were wondering about why. Why do we need to continue with the work studies? Clearly it's because of that. That commission had that on mind, that maybe heroes wouldn't be enough and that they would need more people. They're gonna try with these young students and all, like it's too short to recruit a lot of new people and all. When these students, they are preparing themselves to be heroes, they have that provisional licenses, so they know the job, they are strong enough. It's really dangerous for them. It's still, they are kids still, but they can be a force to help. That's why Andover, he decided, understanding that, he decided to take the 3 of them with him. He understood that Ox might be a double agent. I think that he still needs the confirmation of it, but he understood it. And then the second part of the episode, it was truly about all 3 guys presenting themselves to Andover, presenting what they want to work on. Clearly for Todoroki, it's about its firepower, you know, to manage to use it well, better. But I appreciate the fact that it made it clear to Andover, I'm not there for you because I want to build a dad and son relationship with you. Clearly, you're the number 1 hero, you're the one who gave me that quirk, so you're the one who can help me to use it well. I'm just there for that, to use you. I appreciate the fact that he presented all of that to Andover, he said it, and that he presented it like, I'm doing that for myself, I'm not thinking of you, I'm doing that for myself. And that's what I want Todoroki to do since so long, since we met him, so I'm glad for that. But, you know, Andover took it like, oh, that's it, in fact, I thought that you made it, you know, one thing, you know, for me, that you were there a little for me at least, and in fact not at all. No, we saw Todoroki, how he reacted, seeing Andover fighting with the Nomu. We know us that, in fact, maybe Todoroki is opening a little his heart to Andover, but clearly he's not gonna say it out loud, and clearly it's gonna take time, a lot of actions coming from Andover, apologize also at some point, but I wouldn't be that desperate, Andover. Continue like that and it's gonna come. Bakugo saying that he doesn't need to learn anything, that's not really a surprise, but I was surprised by the fact that he's saying, in fact, that he knows that he's not the strongest, that other people can be also really strong and a big issue for him, so he needs still to discover how to beat them and all. I thought that it was truly interesting because I said it during his fight against the Class B. I was already surprised and amazed that Bakugo recognized that he could need help, and he was asking for help and he was okay with that and all. During that fight also with Todoroki, when they just had their provisional license, he chose to save and he let Todoroki fight the villains. He chose to save people who were in danger, and clearly Bakugo from season 1 wouldn't have made that choice and would have screamed to Todoroki, take care of these people, I'm going for the villain. So I can see that Bakugo is changing and it's obvious now, but the fact that he's saying it out loud, you know, all of these things, I appreciate it even more. For Deku, the fact that he wants to be able to deal with his new quirk, that's not a surprise. The fact that Andover is already noticing stuff that these 3 they need to work on and is giving them advices about it. It was cool advices, I was okay with all of them, and I liked also how he talked to them. I'm just wondering about the one for Deku, even if I can understand his logic about the fact that yes, you need to be able to use your first quirk so well that you're not gonna think about it at all, that's gonna be something really, an instinct quirk to use, and then you can focus on the second quirk, how to use it. I understand the logic, I understand the explanation. I'm still wondering about it because we saw that Deku used it, you know, that quirk, because he lost control of himself, so it can come back in fact really quick. See what I mean? I don't know if really what is gonna happen during the next episodes, you know, what is gonna happen in the future is gonna let him the time to do that, to do what Andover is suggesting. We'll see. And I'm gonna see that maybe today, because I'm gonna watch one more episode today. It's all for you for this video, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now! Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?